Hello, friends. Welcome to the Business Tips Show. And this is a live stream, and I'm actually live right now on all social media platforms. And this is going to be a long show. In fact, it allows a lot of question and answer sessions. So if you have any questions, you can actually use the chat function and reach out to me and I can respond, so we can have much more interactive session and discuss what are the real opportunities when it comes to business. And in today's program, and as you know friend, this is a weekly show. Next Wednesday again I will bring just like today, but today we are going to talk about 10 new things which are happening in India specifically and also in the world. Some of these happenings are global in nature, and how these 10 things affect our business landscape and what are the opportunities which are emerging because of these new things which are happening in the field. So without further ado, let us get on to discussing the business and finding out how these new 10 things are affecting us. And as you know that the landscape is changing very rapidly, and therefore we need to be very watchful of what changes are happening. Especially if you are a businessman, you are a owner of a startup, or even a CEO of a large enterprise. I think these changes affects everyone. All right, so let's continue our discussion. And by the way, as I said, we are live. So if you want to reach out, have any questions about the opportunity, you can actually share your observation, your thoughts, and your questions using the chat function across the social media. All right. The first big opportunity that we see is in the area of the data centers. And as you know, friends, that the network speed is improving, especially when it comes to wireless. The 5G is already implemented in India. There are several countries, at least 9 to 10 other countries where 5G services are launched. These are wireless in nature, and which is improving the transmission speed from the tower to your device, to your mobile device, etc. And in addition to that, there is a huge jump in the bandwidth availability when it comes to when it comes to improving your network speed, when it comes to the fixed line also. So a lot of such changes are happened already, and some of them are happening. And as a result, once the 5G and high speed network comes in the picture, it will actually impact how we use the network. And this is actually causing new opportunities to fall into our laps. And how do we utilize the increased bandwidth for our benefit? And therefore most of these large data centers are now eyeing up, because this increased speed will also increase the data flow, and it will also improve the ability of data creators to create new data very easily. And then also they can do a lot of live shows. And as you know that the live shows are gaining lot of popularity today. A lot of corporates are using the live events as reaching out, as a medium to reach out to their prospects and also their clients. So the in the back end, the data centers will actually support a lot of this data storage and also data flow. And therefore a lot of these large companies are investing in very huge data centers across the C class cities now, because A class and B class cities already have the data centers, and the old data centers will need to be revamped, and they can easily do it. But then now, especially in a country like India, the C class and the D class cities, which are small towns and small cities, are also getting huge data centers. I mean, there are data centers coming up in places like Chhattisgarh, and there is a data center which is also coming up in the east of India, because the east of India, the population which is living in the East Indian, the northeast side, is also improving their living standards, and because of the availability of data. So I think this is one opportunity. New change which is happening is that building of huge data centers, and when it comes to building new data centers is basically providing one of the pieces in the network itself. However, the real opportunity lies in utilizing this high bandwidth and also the data storage at a lower cost. And because of that, the new opportunity opens up when it comes to for creators, and also how do you reach out to your clientele, your prospects, using this increased speed, whether you want to create more video engagement, whether you want to basically create more vlogs, or you want to conduct live webinars. So list is endless. And also today, when you are actually reaching out using the video, in the same video you can also start selling your stuff. So I think a lot of opportunities are being opened up because of this increased speed and this availability of the data centers. So that is opportunity number one. Let's move to the item number 2, which is related to e-Rupee. I think this is the most exciting information that I am providing today. Today is just the end of November, but from December 1st, the first pilot of e-Rupee is being launched by the Indian government, and this e-Rupee will be available for the retail segment. And now many people will be knowing what is e-Rupee. It is not cryptocurrency. It is actually Indian currency using blockchain and mapped directly to your hard currency. So the availability of your paper currency in digital form is what the e-Rupee is, and therefore it is completely regulated. It is not something which is unregulated like cryptocurrency. This is completely regulated. It is directly mapped to the Indian economy, and the first pilot is starting on December 1st. Remember friends, this is going to be used in retail market, which is people like you and me. And there will be a lot of functionality being added to support e-Rupee. There will be e-Rupee wallets, and when actually you use this e-Rupee, then there is no need for printing the currency, because even printing currency will have a lot of impact on the environment, because of obviously currency is made of paper, and then the printing press have to be of specific kinds. Therefore, this e-Rupee, which is going to be launched as a pilot on December 1st, is a very big step to improve our economy. Especially they're starting with the retail segment, so it's going to be a huge step forward. And I think this is the first currency of any country which is actually now getting blockchain based digital currency being launched. And before I move forward on this subject, there is a comment from one of the viewer, Kanchan Verma. She has joined in from LinkedIn, and she is watching the whole stream from LinkedIn. So thank you, Kanchan, for joining us live. Really appreciate your participation. And your comment is that this is a great move by the Indian government. So certainly, I think you echo the sentiment, and I'm also very excited. Anyone else has any suggestion? Please feel free to participate in this business section. All right. So moving on the e-Rupee segment. Well, e-Rupee will not only ease the expenses which are which government of India has to otherwise spend in printing the currency and distribution of these currency. It will solve the problem, because now the currency will be directly mapped and generated using blockchain in the internet, and then distribution will also through internet. So it will reduce the distribution cost of the currency, because currency is something which is not only printed, it has to be distributed across, and then the circulation of the currency, you need banks, etc. And since e-Rupee is going to be launched, the load on the banks and other financial institutions will also reduce, because there will be an application which will have the utilization of this e-Rupee. So there may be e-Rupee wallets, etc. So this is very exciting. I think everyone is waiting for this pilot to come live on December 1st. It is going to change the way we do business. And how does it impact the business people? Well, business will have to accept e-rupee. Right now you are actually accepting rupees, and essentially what is happening is you are taking money from your bank account using the UPI payments to your company's bank account. So customers are paying using these UPI transactions or whatever transactions from a bank to bank transaction. So here, when it is a digital currency, then transactions will be the same, but the currency will be the digital currency using blockchain. So your business will have to start accepting e-rupee, and then there will be probably more updates to the Bhim platform or the UPI platform, where there may be wallets associated with your UPI profiles, and then you can actually start keeping e-rupee in your wallets, which is completely managed by UPI, which is NPCI, government-owned entity. And therefore, the load on your banking will considerably reduce, especially when it comes to micro payments for things like small payments, which is like 1,000-2,000 rupees or below. I think this is something which is going to play a major role. The watch out, friends. The rollout is happening on 1st of December this year. And this is very exciting because once this is successful, within a matter of 1 or 2 years, the potential for future is that anybody can basically start downloading e-rupee. I'm talking about future, and you can also get foreign micro payments in e-rupee. And people who have watched my previous streams, I've already informed that the Indian currency is openly convertible in today 23 countries. And if you're traveling to these 23 countries, you can actually, there is no need to convert your rupee into dollars. You can actually directly spend in Indian rupees. And the list is actually increasing. And government wants to rope in another 25 countries very soon. Russia is the latest one, which Russia has accepted to accept Indian rupees for doing the trading for petroleum products. So e-rupee is getting launched, and that is why it is very, very exciting news, and it is going to change the way we do business. Any suggestions on this? I will be more than happy to take your questions or suggestions. For the time being, let's move to the next big item which has happened this week. And this is about the opportunities in the fintech area. Earlier, what used to happen is, if you want to basically apply for loans, then you have to basically go to the bank, and then bank will ask for 1,000 documents, etc., etc. So whatever KYC norms which have been set by RBI are still the same, but the number of players have increased. And the business grows if they are able to catch the client early, quickly, and that is how you can if you have the ability to catch the client, then you can actually win that business quickly. And so earlier, a few years back, the opportunity of any loan giving activity was limited to either banks or the non-banking financial corporations. So all kinds of loans are there: housing, car, personal loans, and appliances loans, etc., education. All kinds of loans are being provided as per the RBI norms for giving loan. That means you have to fulfill the KYC requirements, and the NBFCs and banks were giving. But today, for past 1 year or more than 1 year, 18 months, there are a lot of app-based loans which are being provided. There are a lot of fintech development that has happened, where you can actually go to an app, download an app from your Google Play Store or your App Store on if you're a Mac user, and then you can actually fulfill those KYC guidelines set by RBI and take the loan from an app. And this is being driven by the Fintech initiative. A lot of these IT companies who have launched these applications, in the back end, they are connected with NBFCs and the bank, but the complexities of reaching out to the bank and then going to NBFCs and then talking several times, all that communication which used to happen between humans is now going through an app. And surprisingly, this segment has shown 300% growth, 300% growth when it comes to digital loans in past 18 months. This area, this segment is growing very, very rapidly. So if you are a fintech player and not developing the digital loans application, I think you may be losing out on the growth which is being shown in this segment at this point in time. So this is something which I wanted to bring to you today, because this is something which is very, very important, and it brings new opportunities for the fintech players. And that is why this is something which is coming as an opportunity for all of us. And I want to make sure that when we are talking about the opportunities, then we should not be missing out on any of these opportunities. There are certain pitfalls also, but I think since this is a very new area, these pitfalls are getting identified, and those pitfalls are being a lot of protection, and a lot of these data protection laws are coming in the picture, where your data is completely secured. However, disbursement of loans is something amazing, because in a matter of 1 year, industry has shifted so much, so rapidly, that instead of going to the bank, now you can download an app and apply for a loan, and all kinds of amounts being approved using the app, using their AI engines, and all kinds of KYC verifications are also done online using an app without talking to people. And then based on your requirement, the amount of money that you need, you can actually apply for loans. And many people feel very comfortable taking loans from these apps, and that is why these digital loans have increased 300%, 3 times the growth within matter of 12 months. So this is something which is changing the landscape. And because of this change, a lot of new things are happening, especially in the fintech area. And I'm only focused on India and the Asia Pac. So I think a lot of changes are happening, and India and China, these two countries are leading the future growth. So this is happening, and India is actually very well ahead in the curve, and implementing e-Rupee, and now reducing the human intervention when it comes to giving the advances and loans. So this is something which is amazing, and any suggestions are most welcome. Any ideas, if you want to share, you're most welcome. If you think that this is something which is inspirational for you, you can share your thoughts. All right, let me move to the next item. So we are now on item number 3, and this is about the Indian app market. And Indian app market is actually, the Indian app industry itself is growing very rapidly. There are every day new apps are coming, and the Google has actually presented this data that the biggest gainers of on their Google Play Store are the Indian app makers. And they are not only adding latest technology apps, but they are also gaining a lot of mind share, lot of subscribers. So if you are a developer, and if you are an app developer, this is one segment, because now this has been projected by the Google themselves that the India is showing a lot of gains when it comes to Google Play app business. And that is why a lot of innovations are happening. All kinds of apps are being created by the Indian developers and being hosted on the Google Play Store. and it is showing a lot of good results, lot of downloads. I mean, recently the Indian competition of Twitter, when they launched in Brazil market with multilingual capabilities, within a matter of 2 days they have shown 2 million downloads within a matter of 2 days. And the usage of Ku in Brazil has going through the roof. For past 1 week they are showing a lot of success in a foreign country. I mean, this is their first foreign launch outside of India. So like that, there are several applications which are actually contributing to the internet traffic, and especially when the traffic is increased manifold, these apps tend to benefit. And then there are a lot of apps which provides the OTT consolidation. So in terms of media consumption also, there are several apps coming. I think these apps are changing the way we do business today, and also how do we consume our media also, that is also very rapidly changing. Earlier you had to basically go to a channel and watch that channel. Now these channels are being available or being made available by different kinds of apps, and these apps are basically not free, they are charged, because the media is not free, media is charged. So depending on what you're looking for, there are several apps today you can actually download and get access to the type of media, at what cost, etc. you can actually download on your devices. I remember a few years back you were bound by the fixed plans when it comes to consumption of your TV channels and media that you're looking for. But today, because of these different apps being available, you don't have to depend on a particular service provider. You can just directly, if you are consuming your media on your devices, you can directly download those apps, and based on how much what channels you are watching, what type of media you want, you don't want to basically pay for the everything and lose out a lot of your revenue. You can then pinpoint what media you want. Based on that, you can select the app, and using the app you can actually intelligently select what kind of media you're looking for. So all kinds of app, even in the medtech area, which is the medical technology, the biggest example is the glucometers now being available without any battery, and there is an app which will actually monitor your blood glucose, which is very helpful in similarly there are a lot of these medical devices which are being provided in the form of apps, and this is one segment where you can actually make it big. If you have an innovative idea and you can convert that innovation into an app, then it is going to be a very, very lucrative business for you, especially if you are a app developer. And if you're a user of this app, then obviously you can use these apps and save a lot of your money without shelling out very expensive different things that you spend money for. You can then download these free apps or paid apps, the small low cost services that they are available. About the latest field which is related to data analytics and machine learning. One thing I like to tell you is that although the data analytics and machine learning sounds very, very technical when you basically talk about these, but to learn these skills, to learn data analytics and machine learning skills, you don't have to have any technical knowledge. You have to have little logical brain on top of your shoulders, but you don't have to have a technical knowledge. Anyone can pick up the skills of data analytics and machine learning, and then because today the data analytics and data itself is now being poised as the next gold or next petroleum, because data is going to be very, very valuable, and you need to have new skills which will then allow you to leverage the data for the benefit of either your organization, and there are jobs available which will help you create job opportunities for yourself. So if you are interested in this future, because that is where the future lies, if you pick up these data analytics and machine learning skills by any sort of course, then there are immediately jobs available, and very lucrative jobs available, much bigger jobs and more paying jobs available in this area. And this field is going to grow, just like in the 90s, in the previous century, the IT revolution brought so many jobs across the world. This data analytics is the next wave, where data is being generated by different probes, and therefore this data analytics is going to become a huge field, huge area for future generations. So that is why this is something which is new. And if you have not understood this space, I think